Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Conversation with Shenila, PMBOK Guide 8 series. I'm your host, Shenila Makhani, and it's wonderful to have you with us once again. Over the past few episodes, we have explored what's new in PMBOK Guide 8 and discussed why adapting a holistic view is essential in today's project environment. Today, we are going to explore another principle that, in my opinion, sit at the heart of successful project management. The principle is focus on value. I'm delighted to welcome back Atiq Rehman and Atiq. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you very much for inviting me again.
It's always a pleasure having you on the conversation. And again, on the PMBOK Guide 8 series, you are contributing a lot. I'm really looking forward to today's discussion because focus on value is one of those concepts that sounds simple. But when we begin applying in real projects, we realize it's much deeper than it appears actually. So, for many years, project success was measured using what we often call the traditional triple constraint. Did we deliver on time? Did we stay within budget? Or did we complete the agreed scope? These measures remain important, but PMBOK Guide 8 encourages us to ask another question, perhaps even more important one, that the project actually deliver or create the value it was supposed to. Because if the project finish on schedule and within budget, yet nobody uses the solution actually, or customers don't benefit, or the organizations don't achieve its intended outcome, can we truly call it successful? That's exactly what we are going to explore today. So, Atiq, let's begin with the most fundamental question. When PMBOK Guide 8 says focus on value, what does value actually mean? And how would you explain it to someone who has just started learning project management?
Uh, Thank you, Shenila, once again. And value is the deeper meaning of value. I mean, this is what we have to look into it. I just give you an example uh, that just came in my mind. Right now, we are doing this session. What for? What is the purpose of this session? Is the purpose is to spend like 30 minutes and show our faces and talk? No, we are trying to create value, right? For whom? For the PM community, for the new aspirants, for those who are coming and trying to learn project management. So the value is what you perceive, I mean, as a benefit, um, the usefulness, the importance of something relative to what you must give up to get it. So it is not a fixed objective number. Value is highly subjective, I would say, contextual and deeply tied to human perception and needs. So the concept changes completely depending on the lens through which we are viewing it. So if in terms of economics and business, we consider it what it's worth, means the venture that we are working on. Psychologically and sociologically, uh, we look into it what we care about. And in scientific terms, like maths and arts, it might have some technical definitions. So when we look into the value, we look in from these perspectives, that the perception. Uh, this is what the value is. What do you think?
I think
What's your
interesting
opinion? Am
perspective. I know, I think interesting perspective, and I really like that explanation because I think, many professionals naturally associate value with money. But value can mean so much more. It can mean happier customer. It can mean, better employee experience, safe operations, reduced risk, innovation, greater efficiency, or simply helping an organization achieving its strategic goal. So, value look different for every organization. So, I think that brings us to another important question. If value is the real objective, how do project managers make sure they stay focused on value throughout the project?
Ah, First, we need to look into it that these three perspectives we must understand for the project, that this project which we are working on, uh, what value it is creating in terms of business and economics perspective, because that is the reason that project is there, and the organizations are investing money in it. So the core thing is that the value in exchange, value in use, and one very important thing that, for example, what is the ROI of it, of the project, that what they are investing like $100, and what they are getting in return, is it $1,000 or what? So this is the perspective they have to look into it as a project manager. Then psychologically, psychology and sociology area for perspective, the what we care about it. So the core belief, the deeply held moral principles, standards and priorities and guide an individual or society decisions. These are the areas that have to look into. Uh, Then when we say the science and mathematics and arts, so I have to look into it that the specific numerical quantities assigned in a variable or determined by calculations, art and design perspective, the music, I would say the specific length of time, musical note is held relatively to the anyways, I mean, there are a lot of perspectives, a lot of things that when you look into the value. So it's this is the evolution,
Hmm.
uh, heavily influenced by the project management professional or the PMP exam. It is like transforming it from a test of process,
Hmm.
memorization, into the evaluating or evaluation of strategic, value-driven decision making. So the value, what I mean, this impacts on the PMP exam. It creates the influence on the current scenarios, or the curriculum that we have here. So you have to look from test of process to the evolution of strategic and value-driven decision making. This is what we have.
Wonderful.
Uh,
Interesting perspective.
so, um, I mean, actually, if you look into the eighth edition, they
Hmm.
have changed the way of thinking.
Hmm.
That's what I believe. Maybe somebody can contradict and they understand this subject better than me. But
Hmm.
when I look into it, when I read the eighth edition,
Hmm.
uh, because you remember we had a discussion on output and outcome.
Hmm.
So this output and outcome was the core area. We were focused to fulfill the deliverables, the requirements, the core projects. We were not focused on the outcome earlier, but
Hmm.
now an outcome is the actual result or benefit that has to be achieved from the project. So you cannot leave a project upon completing your deliverables, or in time, or within the budget. You need to
Hmm.
look into the project from the outcome perspective also. You have to look into the multi-dimensional net benefits that the project is creating. Uh, Simple formula that benefits, you need to understand that what are the benefit minus cost. I mean, you need to calculate the value through this simple formula, then it's a continuous evaluation that is needed now. That value is not one-time handoff
Hmm.
uh, at the end of the project. It's not like that. So the project manager must continuously assess whether the project direction is still aligned with the business case or not,
Hmm.
or with the organization strategy. All these things are there that are supposed to be focused when you are looking at the value.
Makes
So,
sense.
uh, what's next now?
I think it makes sense what you have, I think, spoken now. But I think you can say, stakeholders often have different expectations. One stakeholder may define success very differently from another. So, how important you think is stakeholder engagement in understanding and delivering the value?
Stakeholder engagement is obvious the core aspect because stakeholder are more focused on the value creation. You have to, when we say value creation, so the requirements they set is actually the value they want from this project. So stakeholder involvement is much more than before. Because
Hmm.
earlier, what we look into it, if we look into we check the requirements, we list down the requirement, define the scope, and start the project. That's it. But now the feedback of the stakeholder throughout the project is very important. Because I mean, the big question mark is the project is creating the required value or not? And so you need, as we have to continuously assess the project throughout the life of the project. So this is what we have to look into it. Uh, it's the death of iron triangle now.
Hmm.
Value, I mean, when we are in the especially in the context of PMI, PMBOK 8th edition,
Hmm.
and the latest exam content outline that we follow.
Hmm.
So we can say it's a death of the iron triangle. It's a mindset, right?
Hmm.
In the exam, what doesn't matter anymore, what I mean, it used to be, but it's no more completing the project on time, under budget. It's going to be wrong if you look into the exam questions and you I mean give answer based on this, that okay, it is under budget and everything is so it is wrong. No, what you have to look into it, that you have to, if the project fails to deliver the business value, the customer actually needs, uh, then if it fails, then the project is failed. So this is the major focus you have to look at. Massive weight shift to the business environment is there now because of the value. You have to evaluate, you have to align your project, evaluating the benefit realization
Hmm.
metrics, managing complex stakeholder expectation regarding value definitions. So you need to manage the stakeholder expectations throughout the project. And I'm just, there's something coming in my mind that if there is some project like oil and gas sector projects, the production starts very late.
Hmm.
It takes like years
Yeah.
when the actual plant goes in production or something. But when the actual inauguration of the project with I mean, when you start the project, what they start working on the, uh, sorry, I lost my earbud.
No worries.
uh, is no, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can. It's perfect.
Okay. Okay. So the actual value starts when they start developing the community there. When they normally this type of oil and gas or minerals company, those are working on that. The commitment they make with the community is that we will provide you school, we will provide you roads, we will provide you other sort of benefits, the infrastructure benefits. We will provide you protection and all these things. Production is going to be maybe after 5 years, but the value creation starts from the beginning when the community is there, the population they start gaining something from there. So, from the exam perspective, you will have exam questions highly behavioral and scenario based. I think we discussed this last time as well. Because of all these three sessions that we have discussed are actually very much focused on the business environment, covering 26% of the exam. So I mean, we are repeating the same concepts that we discussed earlier.
Yeah, there's no
So
harm
expanded
in.
scope and modern value drivers, yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, this needs to be emphasized more and more because
Yes,
many
it
people aren't
is.
looking
It
at it.
is.
Might be the first time. Maybe they have not listened to the previous episodes. They are coming here, first time. So, we should keep over. You can say emphasize the. You can say the concepts so that people can learn from it. I suggest so. That's something perfectly fine. I would say.
Okay, now very, very important point that we need to, when we say the integration of AI and the latest technology, this is the very important area that we have to focus on. So the expanded scope on modern value drivers. This is the area. So the value is tied to a long-term viability of the projects. And in the exam, explicitly integrates questions on artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
uh,
Yes.
leveraging automation to optimize project value,
Hmm.
and sustainability, ESGs, and minimizing negative environment and social impacts.
Hmm.
So this is the area uh, that is impacted most, and when you focus on the exam. I mean, I don't know, is it right or wrong? Whenever I talk about these things, I always go to the PMB exam area. Maybe this is my habit. So
That's
I'm just going
perfectly
back
fine.
always.
See,
Yes.
what I believe is, value is not created in isolation, right? So it comes from understanding what matter most of the people we are serving. And that requires, continuous communication. So if it's about the
Mhm.
PMP exam also, yes, those who are watching us and they are the PMP aspirants is going to help them out. Because, continuous communication, continuous listening, and continuous collaboration. That's what PMBOK 8 is emphasizing, right? When it's talking about the focus
Yes,
on
very
value. So it completely makes sense. And when you talk about AI, Atiq, actually the thing which is coming in my mind is that, technology is changing rapidly. Artificial intelligence, automation, digital transformation, and changing customers' expectation. So do you think, right, these days organizations define value differently today than they did 5 or 10 years ago because of the technology inclusion?
uh, actually, uh, organizations grow by time also.
Hmm.
They have the impact of these technological changes. I mean, people start thinking in a different way now. The corporate, if I ask someone, and I have done it with some what you call executives, that what's your perspective about your future? I mean, from 5 years from now or 10 years from now, where you would be. They are very confused. The reason behind is that they are very, especially in our part of the world, they are far behind to understand the impact AI is creating on business. So they are very confused about uh, how it would impact their future. So this is very confusing. I would say that we need to have a proper education to, or at least we must have some seminars or some, I mean, deliberation for um, enhance the mindset to create their understanding about the changes that are about to come. You look into it in the market, in the environment, professional environment, you can have courses, what is AI, and how you can generate AI chatbots and all these things. But there is nothing to talk about that how the AI is impacting the mindset of the public, how the impact the business, how we have to cope up with this. And using AI is different thing, but realizing the impact is different thing. And this requires, I think I'm giving you another uh, cue for series of conversation.
Conversation, not bad. That's amazing. That sounds good, actually.
So this is something
This could be another
that we
series,
have.
actually.
Yeah, it can be a series. Um,
It's fascinating because,
so if I yes,
mhm.
yes, go ahead.
No, I think it's fascinating because technology changes quickly, but ultimately technology is only valuable when it solves a real problem or creates a meaningful outcome for people. Technology itself is not the value. The impact it creates is the value, actually, right? Which we realize, right?
Right.
Which I think PMBOK it also speak about the benefit realization, right? That what is the benefit we are realizing through it. So that's actually the value it creates or provides, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, even not only the impact, actually, it might have different level of impacts. Uh, but how it, I would say that how the value generate, I mean, make efforts to bring comfort to our lives. I mean, I would say that how it is. I mean, the what benefits we get by using this technology and this, I would say, AI and all these things. I have, I mean, two, three case studies. I mean, for today's session, and I would love you to, I mean, maybe we can use this case study to understand the value. So the first one which I would like to share with you is it was Netflix shifting from infrastructure savings to scale tech media. Uh, so this business case, the original business case was to build and scale their own massive physical data centers to handle the rapid expansion of their mail order DVDs and early streaming traffic. That was the case. That was the business case.
Okay.
In 2008, a major corruption in their database shut down DVD shipping for 3 days. And realizing that building hardware data centers was a massive bottleneck, they did not add direct consumer value. So Netflix abandoned its infrastructure plans completely. So and now the perspective of eighth edition here, which we how we create the connection with our topic, how it is. So the project team completely pivoted the execution model of migrate entirely to AWS infrastructure, cloud infrastructure. And the business case evolved from owning assets to maximizing service reliability and repeat feature deployments. So this is one business case I feel that might be something for understanding how the value impacts the decisions of the corporate. Or then I have how many I can share? Let me know.
I think we're already into the 28 minutes, so we are left with three, four more minutes, right? So we can keep rest of the
Okay.
case study for another session, I believe.
Okay, fine.
So at this point, we can have one, I think, at a time.
And
Uh,
I'm becoming very sharp because you always ask for a case or something, a project. So I
this
this
time
time I
you
brought a case study.
makes sense. So I think since every time you talk about the PMP exam, right, and many people watching today's episode are aspiring project managers or professionals preparing for their PMP certification. So, if you can recommend three habits that would help them consistently focus on value throughout their career and the preparation, what would those habits would be? If you can recommend.
Three habits.
Yeah.
Three habits.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, value is the outcome,
Hmm.
not just deliverables.
Okay.
First key point. Value
Hmm.
is the outcome, not deliverable. Okay.
Makes sense.
Second is always choose the answer that preserves or maximizes the stakeholders' benefit over rigid adherence to a project plan. So you always choose the answers
Hmm.
that maximizes the stakeholders' benefits. And the third thing is uh, I think we need to, or they must expect few questions on what process comes next.
Hmm.
Uh, Significantly, they might experience more questions on how does this decision impact the business case. So this is the very important area. So these three tips, I would say, for all those who are preparing for the PMP exam, that you need to focus on. That's all. I think
I think those are
it would
practical
be.
suggestions. Because no, I hope everyone is watching, taking notes of them because focusing on value is not something we do once. It's a mindset, we develop throughout our career, and that's what we focus during the PMP exam prep as well. So, Atiq, before we conclude, let's do a quick rapid reflection, I'm going to ask you, or I'm going to give you some, words, and just the first thought that comes to your mind, right? You have to say, or your first instinct, right? So that's going to be a quicker one. So are you ready?
Yeah, yes, it will be
Okay.
challenging.
Okay. That sounds good then. One word that best define value.
Benefit.
Okay. A successful project is one that.
Uh, and that is sustainable, I would say, and fulfill the stakeholders' expectations.
Okay, makes sense. One mistake project managers make about value is.
They always look into them in terms of money.
Okay.
Uh, and as we just discussed a while ago, it's not
Hmm.
just money, it has many other aspects that you have to look into it.
Okay.
So,
One habit every project professional should develop.
reading.
Great. Now
Uh,
come. Okay. You have another one too?
yes, I know. Reading makes the difference.
Yeah.
Listening is good, but I always suggest when you are preparing for the PMP exam, read PMBOK at least 4 or 5 times. Nobody listens this. But believe me, just by reading PMBOK 4 times, 5 times, which is seems to be very tough, 400 pages, 500 pages, how I can read it. But every time when you read, you start understanding the perspective and you start linking the concepts with each other. Project management is a very logical, subject. And every area from the beginning, from the concept till end, concluding the project conclusion, it is related, linked with each other, and it creates certain, it's like a chain effect. So when you read the book first time, you never understand what is happening. When you start reading second time, you start grabbing some concepts. Third time, it gives you more understanding. And every time when you read, it gives you better understanding of the subject. So reading is the
I think
best.
can't agree more to it. I absolutely agree for the PMP aspirants and generally for the project management professionals also. Reading is a very good habit, right? So if you get time, at least start reading on something piece of work, or that's actually helps in reflection, right? I'm also trying to develop that habit of reading. So yeah, it really helps, in reflecting your thoughts
Uh,
and sharing the ideas.
another Just one more thing, just based on the reading,
Hmm.
I used to audit the companies. I audited around 400 to 500 companies as a third-party auditor. Every time when I was auditing the company, I used to read the standards which against which I was checking the compliance. And standard, I don't remember how many thousands of times I have read the standard. And we teach in auditing that auditors should not uh, value or base on his memory. Always refer back to the standard. So reading gives you more better understanding.
I
This
absolutely
is
agree. Yeah,
this
reading
is
is something which always been there, a very helpful tool, habit for the project management professionals. It doesn't make change how old you are in the career and
absolutely
in life both. So, Atiq,
absolutely.
thank you for sharing your insights today. One thing that really stood out to me through this conversation, that value is not something we measure only at the end of a project. It's something we should think about from the very first conversation with the stakeholder through every decision, every prioritization, every change request, and every deliverable. So PMBOK Guide 8 reminds us that, while schedules, budgets, and scope remains important, they are meaningful only when they contribute to outcomes that matters. As project professionals, our responsibility is not simple to deliver the project, but it is to deliver meaningful value. So Atik, thank you once again for joining us and sharing your experience. I am sure our audience has gained practical insights they can apply immediately in their own projects. And thank you to everyone who joined us for another episode of PMBO Guide 8 series. If today's conversation gave you a new perspective on value, I would love to hear from you that what does value mean to you in your projects. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel Conversations with Shenila and share this episode with your colleagues and fellow project professionals. In our next episode, we will continue exploring another important principle from PMBOK Guide 8 and discuss how it shapes the future of project management. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep focusing on what truly matters. Because in the end,
Thank
project delivers outputs, but project professionals create value. So I am Sheila Makhani. Thank you for watching Conversations with Shenila. See you in the next episode. Bye and take care.
thank you very much, Shannon. Thanks.